Hi everybody, and welcome to the Royal Chess YouTube channel. My name is David Kaňovský, and this is part 8 of my Dave chess lectures. Today there is a game between myself with white pieces against Jakub Roubalík, a very strong master from the Czech Republic, of course. And as we can see, in this position we have just, let's say, closed the opening and reached the middle game of the game. Because, as we could see, all white and all black pieces are well placed here. Both armies are ready to fight. And the interesting battle is probably coming up. Because only one pair of pawns was exchanged yet at the moment, and in this situation black played a move which seems normal, and it is probably normal, but maybe not the best one. On the other hand, it is really not easy to say which move is the best here for black, because as I have said, the situation is about equal here, but there is not a symmetrical pawn structure here, so both sides have very interesting options here. And after bishop f6, I decided to do some activity, let's say. And I've played e4, which is a very logical move here, but of course it has its pluses and also minuses, because okay, white is of course attacking well placed black knight on d5, and maybe also sometimes to go to e5. But on the other hand, there is a very important d4 square, which is of course very weakened by that e4 move, and in the future white has no option how to defend this important square. I mean, there is no option how to defend it by a pawn. So it is an interesting move. And it is a move which is a bit moving the game forward. And now black has got not an easy choice, and that's the first reason why I am showing you this game. But the most important reason is just coming soon. And in this moment black decided just to go to c7 by the knight, because black was probably worried about the continuation bishop takes b2, and now white can exchange two pieces for a rook. I mean, he can take on d5, and after bishop takes c1, take on c6, and after bishop takes c6, rook takes c1. White has two knights against black rook, which is very fine. Usually, and especially in the middle game, two pieces are better than a rook. But here, after easy taking on f3, bishop takes f3, and rook takes d3, the truth is that the position is still about equal, and maybe even black could be slightly better in the future, because now he has two pawns for that exchange of two pieces for a rook, which is quite good for him. Also, of course, black rooks are really active on an open d file, and black rook is also attacking b3 pawn now, and I'm really not sure about this position, who is better here, and I think black really shouldn't be worried about this position, about this variation. So I believe that after e4, bishop takes b2 is the right move here, and I would probably play easy queen takes b2 move. But after, let's say, knight d7, black is just absolutely fine here. He's going to use that weakened d4 square. Black rooks are very well placed on d file against potential weak white pawn on d3. So this is very good position for black. But as I have said, black probably didn't want to exchange his two pieces for a rook, so he has played knight c7. But of course, after this move, white can exchange on f6, and of course this means that with doubled f pawn, black king is weakened. And it is quite an important fact of the position. And of course, now white should be as active as possible. That's why I have played e5 here, trying to open the black king more, of course, and also to get rid of that f6 pawn. Which is quite good for black's defense, because it's covering g5 square, also e5 square. So e5 is, I would say, very, very unpleasant for black here. And again, it is not easy what to choose for black here. For example, after f5, white pawn on e5 is of course very strong. White can play knight d6 here, also maneuvering his queen through let's say d2 to g5, h6 and so on, sometimes knight g5, and as we can see, suddenly white attacking possibilities are really very good, really very high. So after e5, black decided to go knight e8. But of course, after changing on f6, I have played another easy and logical move, knight fe5. White knight is occupying very nice central square on e5. He's of course attacking the black king, for example, important f7 pawn here. And after exchanging on e5, black played rook d4, also very logical and natural move. First of all, black rook was attacked, of course, by white knight, but also on d4 square, black rook is not only attacking the d3 pawn, but also covering quite an important fourth rank here. For example, g4 square could be quite important. And after queen e3, the idea of this move is really easy, I believe. Now the big threat is check on g5, of course, and white queen could go also to h6 square. So black decided to go king f8. It is a move against queen g5, of course, and also let's say that black was feeling his king on king side is not well placed at the moment, so sometimes he could like to play king e7 here and covering his king by these two pawns on e6 and f7. And in this position I have made a very big mistake, and this is the This is the critical position of the game, in fact, and that's why I have chosen this game for you. That's why I am showing you this game. And in this situation, my thinking was, let's say, okay, I have better king now. Black king is weakened. Black king could be and should be weak here. So for my attacking possibilities, I need as much pieces on the board as possible. Which is, of course, in general a very good idea and very common idea. But of course, more important than this is concrete thinking and concrete calculation. And again, my first idea was just to play queen h6 check here, exchange on b7, and just to play easily here. But then I had decided to go for that idea of not exchanging pieces when I attack the opponent's king. So I have played bishop h3 here, which is a fine idea, because I wanted to sacrifice knight on f7, and then of course to take on e6. So the idea behind this move is to attack the e6 pawn. But in fact, the defense of this idea, defense of this, let's say, threat, is really easy by black. That's the first point. And the second point, probably more important, is that after that easy play, white is much better here. And exchanging on b7 is just the right idea. So okay, white is exchanging a piece here, which is let's say not so good for his attack. But on the other hand, he's not losing a tempo for that bishop h3 move. After queen takes b7, you can easily play queen h6 check. Black, of course, has to go on e7 by his king to cover attacked knight on f6. And there's another really easy move for white, queen g7. And I believe I have seen this position in my calculation, but probably after rook f8, because there is no other reason how to defend f7 pawn. I probably thought that okay, my position is fine. I have quite an attack on black's king, but on the other hand, three pieces were exchanged already, and maybe my attack is not strong enough here. But of course, that's really bad thinking, because white has extremely active knight on e5 here, very well placed, and of course attacking queen on g7, which is attacking f7 pawn, sometimes rook on f8, also knight on f6, so that queen is really great here. And in fact, white has very good options how to continue in his attack, and especially after another very simple but very logical and very strong move, rook e1. Because of course on d1 white rook was just protecting d3 pawn, which is really not important at the moment, and on e5 the rook is placed much better. It's placed against the black king, and what is probably even more important, this rook can do a very nice maneuver, which I probably underestimated during my calculations, and it is rook e3 and rook f3. And this is really a very unpleasant threat for black, And also this is a threat which is not easy to defend, but it is still not everything, except this idea, and it is very nice also in the position. White can attack black king also through the queen side, which is very good, because he can play b4 here. Another very nice idea. It of course idea of opening c file for another white rook, and especially here with the idea of forks on c6 square. So as you can see, white pieces are much better here, much active. White has got at least two very nice attacking options. So this position is really much better for white, and it is really hard to defend black's position here. So I believe I would be able to win this game after this simple continuation. But as I have said, after king f8 I have decided for bishop h3. But after queen d6, rook e1, black has found very nice and very strong defending move, which I have underestimated really hardly, and it is knight g8. It is very strong move. First of all, black is covering that h6 square against the check on h6 by white queen, and another point is that after f3 black simply plays f6, and suddenly very well placed, very well placed white knight on e5 has to go back, and after knight c4 queen d5, which is another strong move. Black is already making some counter attack here, and taking on e6. Black just takes on f3, and after exchanging queens, suddenly white attack has gone. I mean, has gone out. It has just finished here, and we have reached the end game, which is still about equal, but okay. White has still a big weakness on d3. These pawns on queen side are potentially weak too, and after some minor mistakes I even lost this game, which is a really big pity, because after that knight c7 move, and after exchange on f6, as we could have seen, white had very nice attacking possibilities, but I vanished all of them by that ugly bishop h3 move, which which had, let's say, a good idea, but as I have shown you and I have told you, much better was just to play it easy, and then white would have a very nice position, and probably very close to winning position. Okay, that is all from part 8 of my Dave Chess lectures. I hope you have enjoyed it and it was useful for you, and see you next time at part 9. Goodbye.